Hello, I am Daniel Montgomery, Gold Derby editor. I'm here with Charles Bright, who is one of our contributors and one of our Grammy experts who got the high score predicting last year's Grammy Awards. And we're here talking about the general field categories. And right now we're here to discuss Best New Artist. To start, before we began recording this, we were both discussing how this doesn't feel like a really great big year for Best New Artist, in the sense that, in previous years you've had Fun, who broke out across the board, Album of the Year, Record, Song of the Year, Macklemore and Ryan Lewis, Sam Smith, even Bon Iver, who was, kind of came out of nowhere. They still nominated him for Record and Songs. You knew he had that, momentum behind him. This feels like kind of an off year, just like last year, where we could see a Best New Artist field where the nominees are in no other general field categories. So with that, it kind of makes it harder to know where to go in terms of predicting and where the Grammys might want to go in terms of nominating and who they'd like to reward. What are your thoughts going into this category?
With this one, the way I predict it, because I'm also old and I don't care for things that I don't understand. I try to. It's really not about the artist. It's more about, okay, what is the usual makeup of this category? There's usually someone from country in there. There's usually someone from like a female pop vocalist, something like that. Maybe someone from R&B or rap, usually male, but could be female as well. And then sometimes you also have just a spot that, like a fifth spot, which will just go to something completely random, whether it be someone from jazz or bluegrass or who knows, reggae. You just never know what's going to pop up there, and you might want to discount them, but you can never. We all found out a hard lesson when Esperanza Spalding beat out 4 other well-known acts for this prize back in 2010.
Yeah, it's kind of stunning looking back at 2010, that category. You could see why she would be Justin Bieber. She's the more kind of respectable musician who you could be confident is going to look okay in 15 years, even if she doesn't, like, she's not setting the charts on fire. She's going to look like a respectable winner no matter what. But that year she also beat Drake. She beat Florence and the Machine, and she beat who were very soon to be Album of the Year winners, Mumford and Sons. So, in hindsight, I don't think it looks bad, but I think it looks curious. Or at least
it's more just like, holy crap, that actually happened. And of course, what's great about it is she will be the first one to tell you that she had the exact same reaction.
But it's really great. I mean, she's not been a one-hit wonder, at least in her own personal jazz field. She has won several Grammys in addition to that one. So she continues to. I can see her being the kind of artist who, in 10 or 15 years, she's on the top 10 list for the most awarded artists of all time, because she just kept winning jazz awards out of the below the radar, and no one was paying attention. But yeah, so always be on the lookout for an Esperanza Spalding or a Skrillex, which was another one of those surprise contenders.
That one, yes.
Or just last year, we had a Courtney Barnett, who was nominated nowhere else. Quite a good Australian artist, but certainly not on anyone's radar. So we've got to watch out for those. But it's kind of hard to predict those. Like, I mean, you're basically trying to throw the dart at the board and figure out which the weird one is going to be. It's even if you pick a weird one and a weird one gets in, it's probably not going to be the one you thought it was. So I tend to play it safe on my list. On my personal list, I have 1 rap artist, a dance duo, 2 country women, and 1 singer-songwriter man. So I've got Chance the Rapper. He's in my number 1 spot. Then I've got Maren Morris, almost entirely on the strength of her CMA nominations. She got so many nominations, including Album of the Year. She kind of came out of nowhere there. She feels like she has the potential to be a Chris Stapleton this year. Then I've got the Chainsmokers, who, big hit makers this year. Lucas Graham, and Cam, who's my other country artist. So I'm not entirely confident two country women will get in here. If one does get in, I'm more confident it'll be Maren Morris. But what about you? What do you have on your list? Where do you agree and disagree?
Okay, so we only have two in common here, but we both have Chance the Rapper at number one. Just right now, I don't necessarily think that means he's actually going to win, because this category has not been kind to rap and hip hop. Though interestingly, it was this category that where hip hop broke their glass ceiling in the general field at the Grammys when Arrested Development won this category. And I think it was, 1992, 1993, when they pulled off their victory. But I think since then, Lauryn Hill and their rap hip hop, or Macklemore and Ryan Lewis,
they sort of count. If the Grammys are going to go for a rap hip hop artist, they're exactly the kind they go for.
Clean cut and white from the Pacific Northwest. So yeah, I number one. I have the Chainsmokers at number two. Beyond that, varies a bit. I got Bryson Tiller at number three. I got Margot Price and Charlie Puth at number five.
Well, Charlie Puth could be a good one. He sort of would follow in the footsteps of a Meghan Trainor, in the sense that he got nominations for "See You Again," his collaboration with Wiz Khalifa, the tribute to Paul Walker. That was nominated for Song of the Year, I believe, last year, and so, you know, we could see him, just like Meghan Trainor did, go from that general field nomination to, you know, when their album comes out and you know, they suddenly hit on their own. I don't know that he hit quite in the same way that Meghan Trainor did. So I don't have him on my list, though I can see him getting in. Talk a little bit about your pick of Margot Price for a nomination.
I think how we're going to describe this is I did the traditional Grammy method of just picking a name at random. I was, you know, just trying to. I don't even know what kind of music she makes. Do you know? Is she?
I'm pretty sure she's in the Americana, folk, or country field.
Okay, I thought it might be country or something like that.
Get that wrong, so I'm gonna look that up just to make sure.
And it's like, no, she does jazz interpretive dance. That's what she does. You know, it's just that I know Bryson Tiller has made quite a mark this year with music, and so the Chainsmokers, I see them probably taking up two spots. But I mean, this is of course always the category I have the least amount of confidence in, because as we've said, you know, you just never know where they're going to go with this. And this year, there doesn't seem to be a group of artists that you can say, wow, you know, like these four have had an amazing impact on music. Like I remember 2000, you had Christina Aguilera, who ended up winning, Britney Spears, Kid Rock, reserve judgment on that for later, and Macy Gray, all in the Best New Artist field. Susan Tedeschi, you know, rounding out the category. So it just feels like, at least with this year, of I don't want to say randoms, because I know that they've accomplished something. They've accomplished something amazing and succeeding in the music business. But it's just like there's just a bunch of these, you know, just random, you know, acts, and there's nothing that's really compelling them to the top, to the top in terms of, you know, the narrative that they deserve the recognition.
Yeah, this feels like a category. I mean, you know, this category, like, you know, when you have like a Mariah Carey, or when you have an Alicia Keys or a Carrie Underwood, someone who comes out and really takes ownership of the music scene, it really does feel like the right coronation once you get to that moment. This year, it feels like a year full of category fillers, but there isn't that, you know, that top person who's obviously going to win it. So it's kind of hard to guess who, like, and you know, beyond the five I'm predicting, I see a number of others on this list who fall somewhere in that mid range of, well, yeah, they kind of made an impact, but they weren't like a huge breakout, you know, like Bryson Tiller, who you're predicting, but it's not on my list. Troye Sivan, Shawn Mendes could get in. You know, the 1975 Kelsey Ballerini. You know, they're just, you know, so many potential kind of sort of you know, had a good year, but didn't have a huge kind of breakout year. So it's hard to kind of get a sense of that. I'm actually kind of, you know, I went back and I looked at the year Zach Brown Band won. That was the last country winner, I think. And I that makes me think, we'll see how, as we're recording this, the CMA Awards are tomorrow. We'll see how big Maren Morris is. Does she have a Stapleton moment, or does she just kind of pick up like her Best New Artist prize there, which she's probably going to win, and then, you know, that's her reward. If she has a Stapleton moment, she has the potential, because we know the Grammys love for Best New Artist solo female artists very often in this category. Like, they're statistically overrepresented in this category compared to male artists, compared to groups. So she's definitely one to watch for. That's why I have her second. I'm sort of, you know, kind of wait and see what the CMAs do. Yeah, there's a lot on this list that has potential, but this is the category where I think it's the strongest possibility that I will have maybe one correct, or if I'm, you know, having a good year too.
Yeah, no. If I were to get 3 correct, I would be over the moon about that. And I will tell you, when looking over the nominee every year, I've found for the past couple of years, whenever I get to this category and I'm looking at the nominations, the most common reaction I have is, it's like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Me too. I mean, you know, this category could have 5 people I'm not predicting, and I wouldn't necessarily be hugely surprised by them, depending on who they are. You know,
and considering at least for me personally, my personal depth of knowledge as to new artists and music this year, I'm not going to be disappointed.
but we both seem to be predicting Chance the Rapper to win. Again, it would be uncommon for a rap artist, but in this kind of year, the fact that I think he's the only one, maybe for me, Lucas Graham in one of the record or song categories, but you know, one of the very few new artists who looks like a contender potentially in another general field category, which is often strongly predictive of winning Best New Artist. So it's, you know, how on a scale of 1 to, well, not 1 to 10, on a scale of like 1 to 3, how confident are you in your prediction of the winner?
It can only be positive integers. I would probably say a 1.5.
Well, we are the geniuses. That's why people come to us for our expertise.
Our infinite wisdom.
Well, with that, we will probably revisit this in other categories again in the future before Grammy nominations hit. You know, thank you very much, Charlie, for joining me. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We will see you soon.